Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
good. Hold on. What's going on with you? Uh,
I don't see you.
what's the meeting ID for this?
Um,
That's what I was trying to figure out. What's the meeting ID?
906-203-794. Are you driving?
No, no.
I don't see you though.
I hold on. Yeah, because hold on. 'Cause I'm on. It's on my phone. Like if you saw me.
There you go. Do you need the other one or no? How does this work? I can't remove the other one. Huh. Oh. Yeah, I can't remove your other one though.
I'm out of it.
So weird. What is new with you?
Same story, different day, man. I always look at every time we do this, I always look at like the picture. I don't know why. Like for my where I'm looking, I'm never actually looking at the thing. I'm always like looking at the.
How's your podcast coming along?
Nah, it's not.
What happened?
Guests. Like I ran out of guests. Like
How come
nobody wanted to be on it.
That's just weird. Why don't you just get them everywhere?
I reached out like nationwide.
No one? That makes no sense.
They don't have the time like to do it video. Like if I could get there in person, right? Like one guy in like North Carolina. I'm like, I'm not going to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like video, they would miss appointments. I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this.
Wow.
Like 3 or 4 of them, I was like, okay. And then like locally, everybody was like, no, I don't want to be on it. I have my business to run. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like
that's ridiculous.
yeah. So I got them all transcribed and stuff, and I'm working on a couple different things, like just more of like just for content, for advice type stuff, things like that. Yeah, I'm about to put some money into some pay-per-click, and so you remember I bought those 2 territories?
Yeah.
So I traded one of them for like closer to me, so now I expanded my reach.
Yeah.
So now I have bigger territory to do like some, pay-per-click, things like that. Yeah.
Are you excited? Things growing?
Yeah, I'm excited. Last year it was a hard year. The past year and a half has been hard, man.
Oh man.
It sucked. Yeah. So now I kind of, paid off some debt. That was big. Get a little more cash infusion. See what happens.
I think you still need to write a book on brick and mortar.
Oh my god. I can't think of anything worse to do than write a book.
Well, I'm writing a book. After I do this thing,
God bless you for writing.
You would actually do really well with this because it's right up your thing. So basically, this program's called Book Creation. He's like a teacher. He's a professor at Georgetown, I believe. And at first I was like, dude, he's charging like $400 and he's doing this thing for like, it's a 9-month program. I'm like, he's not an entrepreneur. He's actually a serial entrepreneur. And he's bringing, this is the first time without college students. So he has this whole program for nonfiction books. And like the first thing is you interview, and most of the book is 80% of kind of getting stories and research. Like think of the books like Outlier, it's collecting stories. Cause I was like, I always thought the book had to be like all about my story. So I've always hesitated to kind of put it together. Yeah. But now I'm like, oh, you have a hypothesis. You come up with a bunch of stories. You see the pattern. You explain it. So then you can go on stage and tell them like, God, done. So we'll see. So I'll tell you about.
See, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that's why I said it's right up your alley. Like he's making it sound like so good. Like we're 2 weeks in it and we're just doing interviews right now. And then he partners you up with an editor and the money goes to the editor. And he's like, one of the big things about having a book doing well is you have to have an editor right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he tells you about storytelling, how to do it, little things. Like, so far, it's my 3rd week, and it's great. We haven't written anything. We're just doing interviews and such. So,
what's going on with you? Wait, what's going on with you? What have you been up to? How's Owners Up?
Owners Up is good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is going on?
What happened with Dale Carnegie?
Oh, my God. Dale Carnegie. I told you this one, right?
No.
No. So what ended up happening was the guy they didn't want the software. They wanted me to train and coach their people based on this framework they had. And then after 3 months, they wanted me to train their team on how I facilitate. I'm like, wait, you're in the business of training others. It's like telling you to like teach my people so I can have, I was like, no, fuck no. Like, I have a business. Like, my business isn't about training other coaches.
Yeah.
You know, even though I should do this, because like when I have this whole framework and it's crazy on how like to interject, how to coach, do all that. But I'm like, I'm not passionate about it. So right now that's not my thing. Like, but, so that didn't go. Then I was going to go after franchises because there's this other company who contacted me, and basically he came from a franchise, and he does it where he charges $250 an hour. And he has it with like whole like lawyer setup. So he'll assess you, and then afterwards he'll be like, oh, you need 4 hours, you know? And then the best part is he gets these coaches, and then the coaches have to find their people and do all this stuff. I'm like, I spoke to one coach because I don't know, I think they wanted to buy me, and I was like, no. And one of the coaches, I was like, I go, so you have to get your own people? And you're doing all this? I'm like, yeah. They go, so why aren't you doing your own thing?
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, sometimes I think about it. She was really open about it. And then her coaching, I was like, I had to like just observe, and I'm like, oh my God, this coaching, like I want to jump in.
What about, you had that one girl that we were working with?
Yes, Heather's great. No, this is about this other company. So Heather's still with me. Matthew's still with me. So that's going well. And then right now I just piloted a program. We'll see how it goes, where it's going to be $2,000 a month, and it's a 6-month, where it's a 1-day in-person workshop. And I'm guaranteeing a 33% growth minimum. So we'll see.
Yeah. My favorite one was like, I had this happen at a salon, right? She purchased this coaching service, right? And then was complaining that it didn't work. And I asked her if she was putting in everything, and she said no. And I was like, have you put in anything? And she said no. I was like, huh, okay. All right, got it. Yeah. And I just was like, I think we're good. I just walked out. I just walked out. I was like, I don't want to do business with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Because she'll complain about everything. I was like, oh, I'm good. Yeah.
You gotta watch out for those people.
I was gonna say, when you put that guarantee out there, you better watch out for those people.
Oh no, I facilitate. I go through. I don't accept everybody.
Yeah, of course.
And the guarantee has that you have to do your goals. You have to do your daily wrap-ups and everything. So that's really cool. Then I'm doing a podcast. I'm going to do the podcast style finally. I'm doing it in video format, and I'm going to do it almost like an Owners Up call. But I think instead of having 5 people, I'm just going to have 3 people. Like, let's say the topic is about finance. I'll have a CFO, a bookkeeper, an accountant, and then I'll ask questions that are submitted by the community.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's kind of like a panel each time, where it goes to my values, where you learn from others quicker and you get a different perspective.
Nice. There's a guy that it's the Remarkable Results podcast.
And he does that?
For the auto industry.
Oh, really?
Motor repair. Yeah, he's like
Remarkable Results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Remarkable Results podcast. Yeah.
And he does it in video style with like the Zoom?
He does it in Zoom and broadcast it live on Facebook. And he has him and 3 other people, usually like auto shop owners or like a service tech or something like that. And they just kind of run through 30, 45 minutes of content.
Perfect. Because I was searching like crazy. I'm like, why aren't people doing it this way?
Well, because like the content is hard.
Why?
Well, auto service, there's only a certain amount of things unless you're really, really entrenched in the community. Like for auto service, it's easy for him because he travels all over the country to trade shows. So like I mean, top notch on keeping up on trends, but he invests a fortune in travel.
Okay, he must get a lot of leads from this.
He's retired.
Oh.
He's like a retired guy. Yeah. So like he's just passionate about it. I think he probably makes good money on like coaching or something, but other than that.
One person I know makes $1 million off of their podcast.
Yeah. So like you see now the podcast, I mean.
Back then when you got it, you're right there.
I'm telling you, like I was so mad. I was so mad. So mad, Tanya. Like I was like, people were asking me like, "Hey, when's the next podcast?" I'm like, "I'm trying to find guests. Like, do you know anybody that's a cool business owner that would want to be interviewed?" They're like, "No." Like, no.
I have one.
I was like, "Who do you want to be interviewed by?" You know, like that's in that retail format. You know.
I have one. She's doing a pop store. What is it called? Pop-up shop.
Like boutique, like a clothing store.
Yeah, it's a clothing store. It's a pop-up.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll interview her. Okay. You know? Yeah. I'm down. Yeah. I mean, I was traveling up to my other territories trying to find people again, you know?
I have another one that's, oh my God, it's a great Indian one I love. They're doing phenomenal in this short space. I don't understand why they wouldn't do the interview. That's just weird.
Because it's a little bit of transition. Like, I'm trying to transition away from the like super mom and pop where they're doing everything in the business. Like I'm really trying to find like if you're a business owner like and you own a pizza shop and you don't have like 2 regular managers, like I'm just kind of like, all right.
I think you have a great story. I think it's just crazy. Like you actually know how to market people. I'm like, why are you going the hard way?
I mean, like, because it's traditionally the way that these people buy, you know. It's the way they buy for the customer that I was acquiring because it was the quickest way. So now I'm just setting up more long-term stuff. So my sales cycle might increase, but like it'll be better customers, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, that sales cycle was 2-3 days, right? Now it'll be 5-7 days, whatever.
You know? Trying to think what else is going on. The book, the podcast. I'm finally implanting an embryo soon. So I finally got 2 healthy embryos and I'm implanting one of them. So in early July, I don't know the exact date, and then just hope for the miracle, right? It's been a journey. It's like a freaking journey. And then, but it's an amazing journey. It really is something that taught me how to not be able to control the outcomes, right?
Be patient.
Yeah, patience. That's a good one. And then Owners App. Well, Owners App was growing, and then I kind of just like with all the IVF and everything else, like I had all the facilitators managing it, and I was just kind of like in my own zone because those hormones impact you. Mm-hmm. So that now I'm just like, I'm on estrogen pills right now because you have to have your body prepped. Now I'm just like, okay, I'm going to have a kid. I want to take this to the next level. And so we're doing a goal prioritization lead magnet, and that's like the funnels and all of it, making it automated is tons of fun. And then we just tested out. I'm closing on the $2,000 program. I have Owners Up at $497 a month. And then nice. I'm doing an idea stage for people who, because I have so many idea stage and people want, but they can't pay $497. So I figured maybe I'll try them out for $78 a month, but they won't get the calls. What are you doing?
I'm looking to see what the little white thing was because everything here is reversed. Yeah, but you're not getting the calls.
Yeah, but they'll do like one call where it's like kind of like goal training stuff. So we'll see how it goes. And then from there, it's like even that program you're thinking about, I was like, you know what? Most people, maybe I need to do like a lesson each month and give somebody like a 60-minute like lesson, because most people don't know how to, like, when you're running a business, you think you might need to go get your MBA because no one's taught you anything. Yeah.
Well, like Action Coach, my buddy, I told you I have a friend that runs that Action Coach.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, they like have 2 guys that own them in South Florida. They just put 70 people in a room at like $350 a whack once a quarter for quarterly goal planning. So it's a 4-hour So like you come in, you do like they do like an hour presentation and you learn some stuff, and then like you take a little like lunch break, and then you actually do like your quarterly goal planning, and they literally you're just sitting next to a bunch of business owners kind of going, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's this look like?
Yeah.
And you're writing all your stuff on your board, and then everybody leaves and they have a quarterly goal board. 350 a whack.
Wow, that's awesome. What's the marketing on that?
I think he just sends out emails and like he does it. They do a ton of networking.
Oh,
I mean, they're in every networking thing you can imagine.
really?
BNI, Chambers, every networking group they're in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I want to make sure mine's all digital.
Yeah. Well, that's Bradley Sugar's company. Brad Sugars?
No. Who's that?
A big coach. Guy that writes books and stuff. He literally releases his own books and he makes the coaches buy them to give to customers. Your customers buy them, yeah.
But was it good? The program, you went through it? You did, right? You learned a lot.
Yeah, but no, like I just planned out my quarter. I don't know. Like it was cool being in that environment. And actually, like for me, it was my first step into planning anything. So like for me, I never planned out anything. I just went,
Yeah.
It was cool to like go through that a couple of times. Yeah.
And then you also go through the financials. Like, didn't you they teach you finance and everything, or?
No, I learned that the hard way too. Yeah. My franchisor kind of taught me about knowing my numbers of my business and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this one member who, he wanted to open a franchise. He has this, digital t-shirt printing company.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in North Carolina. And then I was like, and he looked like he had all the systems. I was like, no, that's not what we do. And when we got down to it, he ended up, he was in business for the past 8 years. He's at $18,000 a month. And now we got him to $55,000 a month.
Yeah.
And now we're hoping to get him to, by August, 80,000. But it was a lot of
e-commerce. He's
what?
doing e-commerce shirts.
It's all literally brick and mortar. And he has one shop.
Oh, so he's actually printing for people.
Yep.
Okay.
And he does it. I forgot. There's like a technique where there's some T-shirts there where you have to buy a bunch. He does like smaller orders.
Yeah.
And his is like, and I was like, you need to go out. So I was like, you need to go out. This is all people coming in and calling. That's it. I was like, in order for us to get you to 30,000, you're getting to do the sales team and get yourself out there. And then we finally got to this point. Then he went to vacation. But then before he did that, he went an hour, went back, 18 leads, got one back, closed right there. And I was just like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
Your people learn, do it all. And I was like, huh.
Yeah. So Minute Man Press is a franchise that does that.
Minute Maid Press?
Minute Man Press is a franchise that does printing, shirts, everything, man. They have a franchise model that they basically put people into a brick and mortar shop, and you're the local printing press with everything you can imagine. Yep. And it's all about networking. And they teach you, like, you have your office people and your little people that can do a graphic designer, and then you just like you go network, and you have salespeople that network and knock on doors all day long. Mm-hmm.
Maybe this guy needs to talk to you, get some sales. That's what I'm telling you. You should be like a sales coach.
I mean, like,
David, why are you not doing this?
I don't.
Are you not passionate about it, or
About coaching salespeople, sales teams? No.
or helping people create their own?
So what I have found is that I've tried it. People don't want to do the work. I am very, very jaded about people wanting to hire salespeople because they think it's the quickest way to cash, and it's not. And usually what happens is they get very disheartened by what I'm saying, and they're not going to pay me to do that, because what I'm going to tell them and what they want to have happen are two completely different things.
Maybe you should do it based on an online course. I'm still pushing you that. One day you're going to be like, Tanya, I can't believe you didn't do this earlier. That's what's going to happen.
I'm telling you what my problem in my head right now is that my customer base that I've been dealing with for the past 7 years has really like just not convinced me that business owners are very smart and savvy, and I don't know what the next level looks like until I start getting into it. Because like I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times people ask me about hiring salespeople, and I'm like, it's kind of what it looks like, you know, and either you can or you can't. You have to make that decision. I'm like, I made the decision not to, you know, like I make the decision not to. That's just my decision because I don't want to deal with it.
Well, maybe that's why you can't train somebody, because you don't want to.
I
You
don't
don't
want
enjoy
to.
it.
I can show you the greatest path on how to hire great salespeople. The two questions are you willing to pay the money and are you willing to deal with it? And one of those two is always no. Mm-hmm. You don't have salespeople?
Oh, I am now going to officially not be on the phone. I'm making it where $497, you buy a site, you do the emails, done.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big change too. And then I will hire a salesperson afterwards, because once you have the script, mine's going to be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
If I do hire salespeople, but all it is for a salesperson is just more of the leads coming in. But when you're a salesperson that has to go hunt, that's different. That's a different type of like.
I mean, inbound lead is customer service.
Well, no, the leads are coming in, then you have to convince them to sell.
I mean, you just have to, you have to be able to.
Convert.
They're warm leads. They're warm leads. Yeah.
Yeah. Outbound is like you're totally different ball game and like teaching them.
Warm leads you could pay less.
I still think you should do something with digital. You have way too much information. Look at me. I'm like, look, I'm telling you this. Oh, there's franchise. Oh, this is the model. Like you're sitting on too much information.
Okay.
What are you going to do it finally?
I don't know. Whenever I feel like it. I don't know, Tanya. Like I'm trying to concentrate on my business. I don't want to go in too many different directions. You know? I'm just like, all right, you know, concentrate on my business. And then when that fails, I'll do all this stuff.
It's not going to fail. You've been doing it for a while. You must have had a hard year and a half. You're usually always very super optimistic and up for things.
I know. I'm telling you, it was rough.
It
man.
must have been hard. Like this is like, yeah, you got a beating.
Yeah, it was rough, man. And I'm just like, all right, you know, like
you're like recovering from it now.
Yeah, like now, like you're starting to catch me on like the re-rise, right? Like now I'm getting kind of back energetic and, you know, willing to put myself out there more, things like that. Like 5 months ago, I'm like, get the hell out of here, man. Yeah. Wow. I didn't want to go talk to people. I was like, good God. You know, the last thing I wanted today, I yelled at, because I told you, like when I'm back, I yelled at a bunch of franchisees. I just yelled at them. It just made me mad because I'm tired of people always like wanting a handout and crap done for them and not want to work. So I'm just like, I'm eliminating all those people out of my life.
Good for you.
It feels good. I'm losing more hair.
How's your relationship with your wife? Good? Okay, good.
Yeah. We're talking about having kids.
Aw. Because sometimes when that goes like, you know, business goes there, like she has to be very patient to deal with like everything.
That happened about, I want to say like 3-4 years ago. But that was because I was working too much. Like I was never home. And she had enough of that crap.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm glad things are going strong.
I don't ever sacrifice that. Yeah. But like my relationship with like business people outside, yeah. Like I stopped going to some networking groups because every time I was there was just people whining about stuff. And they didn't want help. They just wanted to whine. I'm like, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, it's like a therapy session, yeah.
And they would always come to me, right? Because like you said, like I have a good amount of knowledge and I don't mind sharing it. And they were like, oh, you know.
Soon, I promise you, you're going to be like, Tanya, finally did it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. I've
Um,
been losing weight, so I've dropped like 30 pounds.
wow.
Yeah. You can't tell in the beard, but like the shirt's really baggy.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
What do you think? Actually, that's perfect for our conversation. So I'm basically writing a book on the intersection of like, in order to achieve goals that are sustainable, do you do it on your own, or what are the things that happen? So like, for example, a lot of people go through boot camps, and what ends up happening after a boot camp, a couple of days later, months later, you're back in default,
Mm-hmm.
right? Exactly where you start. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes some people go on their goal alone, and that ends up like taking a little bit longer. So then I'm thinking about, how do people create something like a group, and how do they achieve these goals? So have you had experience with that?
As far so like for my business, have I had
Just
experience
anything personal, anything. Like, how are you losing your weight?
um having fun?
Okay, I like it.
I don't like if I don't enjoy it, like I'm not a big gym person, right? So I don't go to the gym because I don't like it. So what I do like doing is I like sports. So I find sports that I enjoy that keep me really active and big in cardio, right? And then what happens is I want to be better at those sports. So I understand a few sacrifices I have to make. Like I sacrificed a little bit of my diet so that I could be a little bit quicker because I started competing and things like that. And naturally it started to happen. So I understood those sacrifices, was willing to do it. There's ones that are also that I don't want to do. So I also understand the consequences of those and what happens, things like that. So when I say,
So, is this sport? Is any of this sport like an individual sport, or?
yeah, it's a lot. It's individual, and you can play it. It's called pickleball, and you play it in singles. You play yourself, but it's a doubles mainly sport. But obviously, the shots you hit and things that you have to do, and you start getting into competitive levels. You know, you have to train yourself to be able to hit those shots. Yeah, yeah.
So you mostly, it's like tennis, but another form of tennis.
It's like tennis, ping pong, badminton. Yeah. So what happened was I was forcing myself to do something I didn't want to do, running. And so I was running in a park next to my house, and some people were playing it, and I found it, and that kind of led me on that theory. Like, listen, I do the things I like doing. Same with my business. I like doing the sales. So all the other stuff that I don't like doing, I just find people to do that.
Sure.
And that helps me, do the stuff I like doing. I get a little selfish. I understand that if I set those goals around my business, that there's some sacrifices to make, right? That I have to sacrifice a few things to be, having fun.
What's a goal that you thought was like impossible to do, then you actually achieved it?
Owning my own business.
Awesome. And then how did that go about?
Um, I worked my ass off and see, like I never thought that I could afford it. I never thought that I had the knowledge. I always thought that I'd be working for people, but I always wanted to do it. Um, and then it just kind of like it just kind of happened, you know. Something clicked that I had a skill set that I had developed, and I made a bunch of money for other people, and um, I always had like a side business, and I just like saved up a bunch of cash and said, you know what, screw it. Even if I lose every penny of it, I'll never regret taking the chance, right? And so I did. I looked at my wife and I said, hey, we can either buy a house and go steady Eddie, and I have the 2.5 kids and all that other stuff, or I can take a shot at this thing. And I said, I'd be much happier taking a shot. And she was like, I don't care, let's go. And that's how that went. Literally 5 minute conversation. I went through a whole pitch, and her thing was like, I don't care. All right. Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
And did you do it on your own, or did you have a group of people or any support?
My wife, my wife, my wife has been there from the very beginning. I don't look at, I value people's opinions, but I don't take them into they don't have a lot of bearing on what I do. There are very, very few. I have very, very few people that I trust, like with my life decisions. Obviously, my father, um, and I have one mentor that really took me under, like, man, he put up with a lot of crap from me, and he did it, and he put in the work. So I really, really trust him when it comes to big decisions. I didn't consult him at that time because he was my boss, and so I didn't want him
Oh,
to know that I was about to leave him. Yeah.
got it.
Mm-hmm. But after I told him, we talked it through and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this looks cool." He understood, and I'm still great friends with him to this day. Mm-hmm.
And how do you create a community around you?
Um, I, I, I don't know. Like, that's a tough one. I don't really create. I don't try to create community. I guess that's kind of the biggest thing is I don't try to create it. I just am kind of myself, and people that are attracted to someone like me or like my personality will kind of just flock around me. And it takes a lot of time for you to like for people to become like a part of my community because so many people are fly by night. They just kind of are really greedy and just want. So I just don't go out seeking them, and I think that helps me. I think that people that go out and seek it, can kind of get burned or misguided, and they're really trying to validate someone to validate their thoughts or things like that. I don't really need that, and I've never wanted it. You know, if I take the shot and I miss, I took the shot on my own accord. And, it's my failure, and I made the decision. I learned from it, and I move on.
So do you think that you don't need accountability or?
It's not accountability. It's I don't need other people's approval, or I don't need like I can evaluate what I'm doing well enough on my own to make a decision. I don't need to ever be 100% a yes on a decision. 90% is good for me because I'm okay with the 10% that I don't know. I'm okay learning it. Like I can adjust on the fly, so I don't bring a lot of people in around me. My biggest thing when it comes to things around me is money, and one person that I talk to all the time about that is my wife. So that's really what it comes down to. Um, if I'm doing anything, I just make sure I always discuss it with her. You know, return on investments, things like that. I understand what risks I'm taking, and if they're smart risks or not smart risks.
Hmm. So what's a goal that you failed at, but you keep trying for?
100 accounts for my business is one that has eluded me for years upon years upon years. And I've gotten close and then down and then close and then down, and I've never been able to land it. And it drives me freaking nuts.
And what are you doing differently? How are you going to get yourself there?
So I've tried different forms of sales people and contractors and commission and things like that. I have tried like some personal branding stuff to try and generate leads. Now I'm going into more of a digital space and investing into some online stuff. And it's a little bit like a lot of things that have happened to me have happened because I've gotten lucky, or call it luck, right place, right time. I've been able to now expand my business by just capitalizing on good deals and some people not being happy and not wanting to work, and I don't mind the work, so I've been able to capitalize on things like that. So it's allowed me to now venture into investing in some digital space, pay per click, different types of advertising that I've never done before. So I'm hoping that I can scale.
It pans out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I know the
then,
risk. Again, it's like I don't. I go out, I do my research, I understand it. I learn, and then I just make a decision and I go. I tweak as I go along the way. I think that too many people with goals, they set them and they think that it has to be like this perfect resolution to get there, and then like you have to be able to adjust along the way. Because not everything goes along that perfect route.
of course, never does.
I thought I'd be like, big. I thought I'd be a millionaire by now. I thought I'd have 2 kids by now. But I'm happy. So
Okay. So you don't see, for you don't see that if you're to achieve a goal, to put a group around you, to like bounce ideas, to make sure you're going the right way, all of that.
I mean, you know,
It's okay. It's not if you're not.
no, I like, I have, so I don't think that there's no value in it. It's just like, if I'm bouncing ideas off people, it'll be like, you know, I just throw the idea past the person that it's going to be beneficial for. Right. So like in what I do when I'm servicing my customers and they're telling me stories, I'll throw ideas past them. Right. Because it'll help them, but I mean, like, there's not too many people that I'm going to really call to do something for my business. One, because in my system, usually people are that I'm the longest tenured and at the top of my business. So the people that I'm talking to haven't been through the same, they haven't been through the same things. They haven't seen and been through that. So getting their input on something that they don't know about doesn't add a lot of value. Right. So, that's where I kind of just go it alone and make the decision.
Hmm. I guess that's it.
Why? That's it? That's all the questions?
Yeah, because what I'm looking for is the whole point I'm gonna research people from what they're achieving as goals,
Mm-hmm.
and then my hypothesis is like anything that you ever want to achieve, you should have a group of people around you
Mm-hmm.
to encourage you, to motivate you, to move you forward.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're totally a high achiever, like it just that's
Mm-hmm.
just, I believe that is the smartest way to get there and quicker. I think there's so many blind spots that people don't see when they're doing it by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is do a bunch of interviews, and then like interview people from Alcoholic Anonymous. Start like these are things that like most people can't change. Weight is another one that people are constantly on a roller coaster. And then how can you get this change? To my hypothesis is only when you're in a group of people, because we're humans are groups, can we actually sustain the change. And it's not one of these like dips and you go back.
Well,
So the whole premise of the book is research a bunch of people achieving different things or impossible goals, and then see any patterns, and then putting like almost like a playbook for somebody who wants to achieve it and help them out.
I mean, it all depends on it all depends on the group setting, right? Like, if you're talking about the people that you're getting coaching from, right? Is that like kind of the gist of where you come from there?
No, it's just in anything. It's like, first off, it's like how you form your group. So like I've been a competitive runner since I was in freaking
Mm-hmm.
14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to do another, like if I was going to do an Ironman, I would still join a group of people, even though I know exactly what to do.
To train with.
Nope. Coach everything, to
Yeah.
train, to encourage me, because I know I'm going to go through some downs. I know I'm going to need some form just to reach my goal instead of doing it on my own. And then that's going to actually have a better performance. And I'll probably want to do another one afterwards because it's a camaraderie. It's a viewpoint. For me getting married, I put a group of people together. You didn't know that one?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everything in my life I've literally put that's been hard for me, I've put a group of people to hold me accountable, to keep me motivated, encouraged.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. Wow.
You have one, but it's like your wife and your dad, right? So
Yeah.
then so you already have a group, but like now you put it in different things. So like you'd add more people to that group depending on what the goal is.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably want to pick up the book afterwards because I'll be telling you, oh, how to form a group that kind of moves you past your blind spots.
Yeah, because like most of the times what happens is people try to put me in their group.
Mm,
That's what happens to me all the time. People, I guess when people are looking for that, they try to put me in their group, you know?
okay.
And so like I don't really get a chance to be I don't have my own group because I'm in a few other people's groups.
Because you didn't form your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like it never occurred, like the people that I'm in there with, I don't know, maybe I'm just too arrogant. I don't know. Maybe I have a big ego, you know? I just like, I'm like, all right, the people that like, I have a coach for like pickleball and stuff like that. Like, there's a group of people that we all play with, but it's not like, I don't lean on them. You know what I mean? I lean on my own self, my determination, my judgment. I do all the stuff, and then they all come to me. It's still a group of us, but they all come to me.
It's so weird, David. Like, I don't know what happened to you a year and a half ago, but it is weird. Like, you have gone through like from like open and like, yeah, I want to be the dumbest person, Tanya, make sure I'm in the dumbest person in the group, to like, to I don't need anybody. I'm usually the smartest one. I don't need help. And I'm like feeling and dealing with all the anxiety and stress.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm like, that's what
that's what I'm telling you. That's how I know something really shitty happened to you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't like, and I don't know, and I'm just gonna grind it out. Like, that's what I know to do. I know to just grind it out, because I know that there's positive on the outcome. So I know I just go and do my thing.
But you're such a people's person that you can create your own group and get this to happen, get yourself moving forward.
Okay.
You just got to go and find the people. Be like, hey, you're awesome. I want to work, and get that going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, I've just been burned so many times.
Yeah. This one's a bad one, Dave.
Why? Oh, man, Tanya, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad that you're being open with me and stuff, but like the change, you could totally tell the change.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Before I would have been like, whatever. He said he's going through some down stuff. Like, this guy's like used to that. But no, this one's a good one. That's what I was like,
Yeah. Oh, now I'm trying.
It's okay. Businesses happen. You go up and down. You just got to go up, and you got to trust and be open again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of hard for me. Yeah. Yeah.
And then just go.
So when you find out about the egg?
I don't know yet. They implanted supposedly July 11th. It just depends on your hormones and stuff.
Oh, so you go in July 11th.
Yeah. And well, I find out Monday, then they have to do these progesterone shots. It's like the first time I'm going through this. But it's funny because we went through 5 rounds of IVF, right? 6 rounds in total. But the 6th one, I was like, we have one, I'm good to go. Like, can't ask for more. And like, it's super expensive. Like, and my husband's like, we should do one more. And I was like, Daniel, like, this is kind of crazy. We're going to like, now we might touch upon our savings. And then he's like, just in case you have a child, And then everyone's like, no, Tanya, screw it. I asked a bunch of people. They're like, he's not going through this. You get that one. So then I was like, you know what? Fine, Daniel, we'll do one more. I'm not sure about this, but we'll do one more. That's it. And we ended up having one more embryo, which was huge because that's a lot of stress to make sure that one embryo sticks. So now I'm like calmer because I have 2 chances and maybe I have 2 children, right? But usually like the percentage of it to stick, I forgot what the percentage, 60 or 70%. So
does that mean you have 120% since you have 2? Just kidding.
That means I have a chance to have 1 for sure.
Yeah.
That's what that means. So yeah, it's been a journey, and like, oh my God, I've cried my ass off so many times because the embryo happened in the last rounds. So I've been through like tons of shots, tons of things, like thinking I'm strong enough that the hormones don't affect me, but like I was just like whatevs, and dealing with people in business, and then dealing with people who really don't want to move their company, but they say they want to move their company. So now I'm just like, F you, get out, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I'm like choosing wisely. Like, I'm really straight with people.
Yeah.
I can't want your business to work. You can't want me to want it more than you.
Yeah.
Or then I'm like, you have a hobby.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, I'm like, just gotta tell you straight. You're gonna learn the hard way or tell it straight. And then they're just like, it's what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm called I think you knew this, the Velvet Hammer.
You probably did talk. We probably did talk about that.
Yeah.
Fire
So,
and bad customers, like your girl that was going to open up the massage therapy place.
oh my God. That was a hobby.
That was a desire, man. That was something I don't know what that was. You know, I
That
do
was a,
all the time, all the time. How many people come to you about, hey, I want to open this business. Tell me what you think.
um a lot, but I actually usually encourage. There's actually one which is my cousin, and I'm trying to encourage him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is he's a programmer. Then he quit his job, and he's into fixing cars. So now he's a general contractor, but he's thinking like a programmer. And what he did was like he figured out all the estimates.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is like if you ask for an estimate, he can actually tell you what it is. Where most contractors, they don't want to like design, they don't know how much or like whatever. So I'm like, you need to get this out. You need to like go out there, get the sales, get going. So I try to encourage. I like encouraging. I still haven't figured out. I figured out my avatar, but like I really want to know their desires and their pain. I haven't gone through that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're solving a problem, especially for contractors in
It means,
technology, they'll buy it all day long because the margins in it are good, especially if you can customize it. Yeah, yeah. I have a buddy of mine that's in a roofing business that would buy that in a heartbeat.
oh, I should connect you guys.
Yeah,
But so I'm encouraging because he's doing it on his own, and I'm like, he doesn't want to like release it. I'm like, oh my god, you got to release it. I go, if I have to push you anymore, I'm going to take a percentage. Yeah, like
yeah,
yours.
yeah.
Did you ever meet Juliana?
What you gotta tell me what they do?
She scales her. She helps digital agencies scales their business through systems.
No.
So she did not want to do online course,
Mm-hmm.
and she was doing it one by one and all that. She finally did an online course. She did her beta. She made 25K. She
Nice.
sold her thing at 5K. It's only a 2 month program, and then yeah, it's got it going. And now she's like going to be investing in her ads and going. That's why I'm like, a lot of people, brick and mortar, where do they go? Like, let's think about what they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the chambers, they start networking, they probably get called on Groupon, they probably get called on Yelp. They don't even know how to run it. They don't even know how to hire people. They're like, screw. So where do they go?
Mm-hmm. They go online.
And they find what?
A bunch of ads.
That's what I'm saying. You could help them.
Yeah, like
So I don't understand why you don't do this online course. Why do you have to suffer?
because I don't even like I wouldn't even know where to start it. I wouldn't even know where to start it. Like the thought of it, I'm just like, all right, like where would it even start?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know how many times, Tanya, I talk to these people about this stuff?
You don't think they would attend or what?
I don't think they would buy it.
Why
I
wouldn't
don't.
they buy it?
What is? I don't. I'm not confident in myself enough to put together a quality program. Like that's just a self confidence thing. But the other one is like the people that it's like a catch-22. The knowledge that I have, that people don't want to pay for. You know what I
You
mean?
haven't figured out your avatar. I used to be, oh my god, like my husband had to like pan into me about charging $500.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he goes, it's hard to get people 300. He goes, Tanya, you're not approaching it right. You should be actually at 1,000. And I was bringing in the wrong people sometimes when they were saying that.
Yep.
So you're just targeting the wrong people.
Yes, correct. No, I've agreed. That's why I'm on this new venture. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm on this new venture. That's why I'm investing my dollars into other places that I've never invested before because I'm trying to get the people that are better quality. Like I have so normally I'd have a single unit pizza restaurant. Well, now I have a call in about a week with a 5-unit barbecue joint. That's a better quality customer. It's taken me 2 months to get. Right? So now I have to see, but it came through the same process. So that's what I don't like. So now I'm investing into different strategies. Once I invest into that, then, I get a better feel and better customer, stuff like that. I can make the right adjustments instead of just running right into it.
So remember when you did that speech with the hairdresser?
Yes.
Did they get a lot out of it?
Yes.
So why wouldn't you do something like that?
I did the same thing at the hair salon show.
Okay, and what happened?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Literally, I had people attend and they didn't do anything.
What's the difference between that one and this one? The one before?
Bigger scale. When I was at the single unit salon, I could force them into the situation. I had to check up on them. Even when I checked up on them, they weren't doing everything. So I had to check up constantly on them. Like I was in there like once a month, making sure they updated the board, checking their records. When I did it at scale, I can't check up on those people. Some of those people, North Carolina, Nebraska, they were out other places. Once they left the room, I had no control. Like I had no checkup. So like I tried to incentivize them with gifts and things like that. Still nothing. And I had 58 people go through that course at a trade show where they're going to learn in 2 days. I had one of the best rooms. Like the facilitator for like a first-time speaker, they were like, yeah, your room was one of the best attended.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, all those trade shows, you want to talk about what happened, like, and how I became so jaded? All those trade shows, all that speaking, right? All that knowledge I put out there. Just the wrong type of people.
Or you can just say, sell it, this whole program you did for $99, or anytime someone comes to you, you sell the course, and if they do it, they do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get you going positive again. Jeez Louise.
I know.
I can't believe this.
It's just jaded, man. Like, so burnt. So burnt.
When was the last time you had a vacation?
I'm going in August.
Okay, good.
Myrtle Beach.
Nice.
Guys' golf trip.
Good.
Yeah.
Be with the boys.
Yeah.
And you just need to relax, chill, take a break.
You want it? So here, you ready for something fun that I'm working on?
What's that?
3-putt mafia.
What's that?
Me and my boys, we're terrible golfers, so we always yell. 3-putting is really bad, but we have such fun on the course that we created like just a little brand called 3-putt mafia. So we're just gonna try and sell some T-shirts and polos and some hats so we can pay for our golf trips. That's it. That's it. That to me is hilarious. Like, you know me, I love hilarious crap. I'm like, the fact that 5 of us can't agree. It took us forever to get the logo. I laugh at it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
but if I can build that into like a good e-commerce business, that'd be cool.
E-commerce is much harder.
Mm-hmm.
So much harder.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Who cares? If, at the end of the day, if we're wearing the logo, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works out. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was awesome catching up.
Stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Later.
All right. Ciao.